Hello friends, and welcome to another video. In this one we are covering the pentacles, and the tarot suit of the pentacles is associated with the element earth. Even though the pentacles is about money and the actual symbol of this suit are literal coins, I want to stress the fact that pentacles are not just about money. This isn't just about our financial situation. This element is about our physical reality. And so because of that, yes, money is physical forms of like resources, and it's a physical form of security and stability. But the pentacles also have a lot to do with our physical health, our body, our well-being. This can also pertain to our home, where we live, our physical reality. And the pentacles are about our five senses. What we can see, hear, taste, touch, smell, okay? The pentacle itself is a Pythagorean symbol, a pentacle, a pentagram, this five-pointed star. It represents our five senses being enclosed in a protective circle of spirit, bringing an element of spirit and grounding it like in this perception and this depiction of a star. Okay, so let's jump into it, and let's start with the Ace of Pentacles. So on this card we see the hand of God, the hand of spirit, holding this bright shiny coin. And then in the background, we have this beautiful little garden with an archway, and the garden represents abundance, the abundant nature of earth, the abundance that occurs naturally. The garden is also like a sacred space, so it represents a refuge away from reality, away from the real world. The wall part of this garden symbolizes a form of like protection and something being guarded, whereas the arch represents a portal and a new beginning, a new pathway of sorts. You can think of the Ace of Pentacles as a very, very slow moving beginning. So this is a commitment, this is a new opportunity, this is a job offer. The Ace of Pentacles could also represent like a new diet, a new workout regimen. This can represent a change in your relationship to your physical health. The Ace of Pentacles can also be about time, and typically it's a pretty clear sign that time is on your side in some kind of way. But yeah, this is about receiving. This is about being gifted something. You can think of the Ace of Pentacles as like an unfertilized egg. Like truly, like it's something is on the table, something is being ready to go, and it's up to you whether or not you want to accept this opportunity, accept this offer, accept this gift. But yeah, this can literally be a gift of money, an increase in your finances in some way, shape, or form. When the Ace of Pentacles is reversed, this pretty much indicates a blockage of you receiving something new. So a blockage in receiving money, a blockage in receiving a gift. This can equate to a like financial loss and some kind of loss of opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles reverse can represent poor investments. It can represent control issues, hoarding resources, hoarding finances, being stingy. But it can also represent a loss of time or wasted time, okay? In any event, the Ace of Pentacles reversed is definitely a lack of commitment, and usually because of some form of control issues and some form of not being ready or just not letting yourself fully receive something. Whereas the Ace of Pentacles upright, yes, this is a new beginning, yes, this is a new opportunity, something being handed to you, but it is slow moving. All of the aces in general, because we're talking about physical earth, because we're talking about our physical reality, this energy is very slow moving. But in general, if you're trying to predict the timing of something with tarot, swords are going to be the fastest. Wands are going to be like pretty much just as fast, but wands, that energy sometimes is very quick to start and burn out. So swords are actually going to be like your best bet when you want something to move quickly. But the cups are going to be a little bit slower. Emotions are a little bit more fickle. And the pentacles are the slowest moving energy in the deck. But with that being said, let's move on from the Ace to the Two of Pentacles. So in this card, we see a dude who's kind of dressed up like a clown, like a court jester of sorts. He's got a fun little hat on. He's wearing mostly red and orange, some green shoes, and he's balancing or juggling these two coins that are roped together in an infinite loop, in a green infinity sign. Behind him, we see some rocky waves and some ships. Okay, and the ground that he's standing on looks very similar to what we saw in the Two of Cups, right? So we can discern that this man might actually be standing on a stage, but the Two of Pentacles does represent juggling multiple opportunities, juggling multiple jobs, juggling multiple commitments. This can represent juggling multiple people at once, but typically this is like a representation of mismanaged time, or just having too much on your plate, spreading yourself too thin, with the fact that he's juggling these two pentacles in an infinity symbol. Like, this is just a sign that he's stuck in a rut that's going to be extremely difficult, if not nearly impossible, to break. Like, and the infinity symbol on his shoes, both being the same color and both being green, symbolizes the need for him to ground himself and the need for him to break out of this cycle and out of this habit. And so in most like depictions and descriptions of what's actually happening in this card, people believe that he is performing for sailors that sail like on trade ships and that are coming in and out of the port. And so he's performing for them in the hopes to make some shmonies. But because he spends all of his time here working his ass off, we can assume that this is a man living paycheck to paycheck. So we see the Two of Pentacles when we're stressed and we're trying to make ends meet, okay? The Two of Pentacles can also represent like the concept of like when you chase two rabbits at once, you don't end up catching either of them. You like need to focus on a goal and not have your hand in too many pots at the same time. Which goes back to the idea of spreading yourself too thin. But the energy of this card and the infinity symbol, it also speaks to this idea that with money, like there is an ebb and flow. Like you will go through moments of loss and you will go through moments of gain. And again, twos in numerology, twos in the tarot, anytime you see a two card, this is about pausing, self-reflecting, checking in with yourself, checking in with the people around you, and really paying attention to what's going on here, because you've got to get yourself out of some kind of situation, or there's maybe an opportunity for you to do things different and for you to make life easier for yourself. When we see the Two of Pentacles in the reverse position, this signifies burnout, the need to get more organized. This is a sign to rest and readjust. This is instability. This is feeling overwhelmed. Whenever you see the Two of Pentacles reversed, it's typically a sign that someone just feels out of control and like things are falling apart. And the best advice you can give to someone who's in a Two of Pentacles reversed kind of situation is like, let it fall apart. Like you don't have to keep it all together. You like got to this point by trying to do too many things at once. So now, before you can do anything, you need to rest. whenever I see the Two of Pentacles reversed, I typically interpret it as someone who should be a lot more intuitive with how they schedule their time, with how they manage their time. The Two of Pentacles in the reverse position is definitely a sign to take care of yourself, take care of your well-being, and therefore like work with your body. Like if you have a lot more energy in the morning, and if you're better at being productive in the morning, then get shit done in the morning and then go to sleep early. On the flip side though, if you have more energy at night, if you're a night owl, then use that to your advantage. Like stop caring so much about like doing what everybody else is doing. The Two of Pentacles in the reverse position is a sign to be a little bit more selfish with how you spend your time and energy, because there's a need for you to bring your energy back into yourself and replenish yourself. You know what I mean? Okay, so from the Two of Pentacles, we move on to the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is about creativity, collaboration, and building something of significance. In this card, we see three men. One is an architect. He's a builder of sorts. We also see a priest or like a hierophant kind of character. And then this dude wearing polka dots holding a blueprint. And all three of them are standing in a church. So yes, this is about creativity and collaboration and working with others, but this can also be about employment and working for someone else, but also working with people whose skill sets differ from yours. So we have the architect, we have the priest, and then we have this man wearing the polka dot garment. And earlier I said that polka dots in the tarot represent not taking life too seriously. Like there's something entertaining, there's something very, very different about this man, but also each of these men bring something different to the table. And so for that reason, the Three of Pentacles can represent you working with people who have different skill sets from you. And that's like the key to success, is like networking and communicating and bouncing ideas off of people who not only have a different skill set than you do, but just have a different perspective and a different opinion than you. The Three of Pentacles can represent creating shmonies. This is about making money or creating a physical project, creating a project that will then go on to make pentacles. But in any event, this is a reminder that slow and steady wins the race. In numerology, threes are about creation, threes are about birthing something into existence. Pentacles is very slow moving energy. Therefore, the Three of Pentacles reminds us that pace and consistency is always going to be more important than speed. Your intention, your commitment to seeing something through is absolutely everything. Now, the fact that this card takes place in a church also like coincides with this idea that the pentacles are about our five senses. The church is a temple of sorts in the same way our body is a temple of sorts. Like church is house, spirit, in the same way our physical body houses spirit. And so this card can also indicate that like the body is a temple. So it can be a sign and a reminder to take care of your physical health. And the repeating number 333 speaks to the alignment of the body, mind, and soul. And so I think that's also really beautiful that it aligns with the Three of Pentacles. This card is about being proud of the thing you are creating or the thing you have created. It's about being proud of your progress. However, it's also a reminder that tools can be used to create or destroy. And even a destructive process is inherently a creative process. Like, in order to create something new, we typically have to destroy something old. And like the cycle of creation and destruction, life and death, it's repetitive and it's cyclical, and they depend on one another. Okay, so in the reverse position, similar to the Two of Pentacles reversed, this can indicate burnout, a lack of creativity. Also, the Three of Pentacles reversed can indicate a need to do something independently. And I guess this could play out two different ways. One, it could be a sign to do things independently, work independently, and that's typically how I read it. But it could also mean that like you're being too stubborn about being independent and it's time to like reach out to other people and ask for other artistic input. The Three of Pentacles reverse can also indicate a lack of resources, a lack of support. This card can also represent not getting recognized, not feeling proud of what you are creating, or not feeling like you're receiving enough attention for the thing you are creating because you're so proud of it and you want more people to see it. But yeah, okay, so last but not least, this card in the reverse position can also represent collaborating with other people, but they're not pulling their weight, and something about the situation is unfair. All right, so from this Three of Pentacles energy, we move on to the Four. So again, from creation, we move on to protection, stability, rigidity. In this Four of Pentacles, we see a man wearing red and blue but cloaked in black, and he's wearing a crown, and he is holding on to one giant coin very tightly, but he also has another one at the top of his head and two below his feet, and he's also sitting at a distance from a city skyline. And the Four of Pentacles is very stingy. It's very unforgiving. He's a little bit of a Scrooge McDuck, a little bit of a control freak. Now, don't get it twisted. The Four of Pentacles is about like financial success, but there's something very like uncomfortable, frugal, cheap. There's something very scarce about this success. Like this dude is holding on to what he has so tightly because he believes that anyone at any time could take it away from him. And so he's living in a state of fear. The Four of Pentacles can also represent you being very self-protective, not wanting to spend your time and energy with people that you don't necessarily trust. Like it can be a selfish energy, but at the end of the day, it's self-protective. This is an energy that doesn't trust others very easily, all right? And so typically the Four of Pentacles shows up when it's time to loosen our grip on something, loosen our grip on physical money, loosen our grip on a situation, a relationship that we're trying so hard to control. The Four of Pentacles says, if you love something, set it free, okay? The Four of Pentacles represents a fear of uncertainty, a fear of not having enough, a fear of not being enough. Yeah, so the Four of Pentacles reminds me of King Midas and this idea that whatever King Midas touched turned to gold, but that ended up biting him in the ass because he touched his daughter and she was frozen permanently. So the Four of Pentacles is about money, it's about financial success, but there's a cost here, okay? In the reverse position, this is indicative of someone loosening their grip, someone becoming less rigid, someone like just surrendering to their control issues or actively healing and working through their control issues. The Four of Pentacles reversed is an energy that isn't very controlling. It's not very rigid. Maybe there's a need for you to get a little bit more strict with your financial spending and financial budgeting, but essentially the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position represents being flexible. So in summary, the Four of Pentacles is about holding on to your resources super duper tightly, whether that's your money, whether that's your time, or your energy. And the next card in the tarot story shows us the consequences of living here for too long, and that's the Five of Pentacles. Okay? Fives represent change, disruption, a form of conflict that forces you to start doing things differently. So in the Five of Pentacles, we see these two people that are presumably beggars, or homeless or transient, and they are walking through snow, passing by a church, and they're oblivious to the fact that there's money in the church window. There's pentacles hanging out in the church window, because their heads are facing downwards. The Five of Pentacles tends to be a very like uncomfortable, sad energy, similar to that Five of Cups when we saw a man like in mourning. It's a very like heavy, solemn energy, and both of these cards evoke a very similar emotion. The Five of Swords was about like winning a battle but losing the war. This was a very combative energy, and we're gonna see something similar when we talk about the Wands, the Five of Wands. But in any event, the fives like are symbolic of having to defend yourself, having to fight for yourself. The Five of Pentacles is about having to fight for your safety, fight for your security, fight for your financial situation to turn around. There's like absolutely nothing being handed to you on a silver platter with this energy. If anything, there's a feeling of like loss and hopelessness. Arthur Waite, in his original description of the card, said that Pamela Coleman Smith, Pixie, depicted two monks walking past a church. And so these two monks were were committed to living a very like noble, humble life. And so it wasn't that like they didn't see the money in the church window, it's the fact that they were committed to going without. And so the Five of Pentacles is about going without. However, it is very important to remember that the Five of Pentacles is temporary, okay? This too shall pass, I promise. But in any event, the Five of Pentacles is about desperation. It's about being in a state of need. So when we see it in the reverse position, this can mean one of two things. One, this can mean that like you've been in a desperate state for a while, and now it's time to start like not seeing yourself as a victim, and instead like taking things into your own hands. It's time to take on a little bit more responsibility to turn your life around. Or in the reverse position, this can indicate someone who is actively turning their life around. Like you're sick of feeling like a victim, you're sick of being in this state of lack, sick of living in a state of fear and instability. So you're putting in the effort to make a better life for yourself. The Five of Pentacles in the reverse position can also indicate healing some form of rejection or moving on after being rejected. And this is about asking for help if you need it, working through any feelings of ego or pride that prevent you from asking for help. But it can also indicate being rejected after asking for help, like being in a state of need, being desperate, asking for help from someone, and then if you are denied, if you are rejected in some way, shape, or form, it's because like where you're going, the next part of your life, it wants you to be more independent. There's a need for you to be more independent. There's a need for you to be the one that gets yourself back on your feet. Okay? All right, so after the Five, after this dry spell, after this harsh wake-up call, we move on to the Six. In the Six of Pentacles, we see two poor men being handed coins from this, like, coins are crumbs, quite honestly. from this man who's dressed very nicely and it looks like he's very wealthy. We can assume that these two people are the same people in the Six of Pentacles. And so one is wearing blue, one is wearing yellow. Again, blue represents intuition and yellow represents enlightenment and knowledge. So the man in the red is also holding the balance, the scales, which is associated with the energy of Libra. And we saw the scales in the Justice card. And so justice, just like the number 6, is about harmony, balance, giving and receiving. The Six of Pentacles is about even giving and receiving. This is about reciprocated time, money, and energy. And so even though the men that are like crouched, even though they're not giving the rich man anything in this card physically, because the scales are there, it's a sign that this is an act of justice, this is an act of balance. But most importantly, this card represents a very generous transaction. And so the Six of Pentacles teaches us that sometimes you're gonna be in a position to give to others, and other times you're gonna have to open up your palms and be willing to receive help. And if anything, being in a position where you need to receive help, it's gonna make you appreciate the moments in life where you have the freedom to be a little bit more generous with your time, with your money, with your energy. Generosity always comes back to you, even if it doesn't come back to you from the source that you give it to. When it comes to love, when it comes to money, when it comes to time and attention, if you give to this world generously, you will get it back. But you may not get it back from the sources that you're giving it to. The Pentacles are about transactions. And so the Six of Pentacles, this represents a very fair, just, balanced transaction. The Six of Pentacles represents charity, goodwill, and generosity. This can have a lot to do with gifts, favors, or compliments. The Six of Pentacles represents sharing your time and your money and your energy with others. The Six of Pentacles is a sign of progressing and moving out of that state of desperation that we saw in the Five of Pentacles. This is about getting back on your feet and being able to help other people in the process. Now, when we see the Six of Pentacles in the reverse position, this signifies a lack of flow. This symbolizes a very unfair financial situation, an unfair situation in general, like someone isn't taking your time very seriously, someone's wasting your time. This can also represent overgiving, giving too much to a situation that you're not getting anything out of. The Six of Pentacles reverse signifies a lack of effort, a lack of diligence, a lack of patience. And it's also just like not receiving what you're owed. This is false promises. This is someone being really like shady and not following through on their word, okay? Essentially, the Six of Pentacles reversed is an energy of like codependency almost. It's like you are outsourcing money, you are outsourcing your time, outsourcing your happiness on a situation that isn't giving what it needs to give. And so sixes in tarot, sixes in numerology, this is about choices. This is about decision making. And when this card's reversed, it feels like there's a lack of freedom, there's a lack of choice and options being available to you. But in the upright position, the Six of Pentacles is about like choosing to be generous, choosing to be open to receiving help. And so usually this is an energy of like flow, ease, there's a transfer, there's a transaction happening, all right? And from this transaction, we move on and add another pentacle to the equation. We go into the Seven of Pentacles. And in this card, we see a man overlooking his harvest, and he's not too pleased with what's happening here. And so between his orange, which is very like sacral chakra, very creative energy, between his orange getup with like his blue pants and his blue sleeves, which signify an intuitive energy. He's using his creative energy, he's using his intuitive energy, and he's trying to figure out like whether or not he needs to like uproot what he's grown, like pluck and pull at his weeds of his garden, or whether like his crops are ripe enough. And he's just like trying to decide if he likes what he has worked on. So because of that, the Seven of Pentacles usually is a sign to examine what you've been working on, examine your commitments, because something's got to go. The Seven of Pentacles typically signifies the fact that someone's not totally satisfied, someone's not totally happy with what they have created. There's some kind of flaw in the system that is preventing them from having a more bountiful harvest. However, this card is also about like reaping the rewards for your previous hard work. Like this is about patience. This is about starting to see the fruits of your labor. The Seven of Pentacles can be a sign to pivot and to change directions. This can be about like preparing for the future, like appreciating what you have now, but knowing and taking the time to figure out how to make this harvest last so much longer. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles shows up when it's time to take a moment of rest and step back and just like evaluate your work. And that is tied to this biblical idea that it took God like 6 days to create the world, and on the seventh day he rested. So on Sunday we rest, we take Sabbath, right? Sunday's God's day. Seven of Pentacles is also a sign to be patient. The Seven of Pentacles is also a reminder that it takes time to build a legacy. It takes time to build something of quality. And also, the Seven of Pentacles can represent not counting your chickens before they hatch. Like I said, this energy has a lot to do with preparing and planning and being proud of how far you are, but still having some end goal in mind. And so typically it represents needing to pivot, needing to change things up. Now, in the reverse position, I'd say this is absolutely like you need to pivot, you need to like change like most of what you're doing, because the trajectory that you're on isn't leading you to where you need to be going. The Seven of Pentacles reversed signifies the fact that something doesn't seem worth it. There's a commitment that just, it's truly not it. In the upright position, this energy is about like, yeah, something isn't working, but do you just need to be more patient? Do you just need to make some adjustments? In the reverse position, it's like, no, like you need to pack your bags and move on. The Seven of Pentacles in the reverse position can signify a loss of sorts, just like the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position was indicative of a poor investment or time, money, and energy poorly spent. The Seven of Pentacles is a similar vibe. But this can also represent being too detail-oriented, being too hyper-focused on small details that might not actually matter that much. And so there's a need for you to zoom back and focus on the big picture and why you do the things you do. But In the Seven of Pentacles, we start to see our hard work pay off. We start to have the freedom to discern whether or not we want to keep doing things this way, and we're being asked to be patient in regards to future growth, future investments, future ideas. All right? And so from this patient, curious, scheming energy, we move into the Eight of Pentacles. This is a very hard-working energy. In this card, we see a man making some coins, like literally physically like hammering a pentacle together. He's sitting on a workbench. We got a little cityscape behind him, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pentacles hanging up on a tree in front of him. One in his hands, one on the ground. The Eight of Pentacles is about committing to something. This is about taking on responsibility. The Eight of Pentacles reminds us that practice doesn't make perfect, practice just makes progress. And so the Eight of Pentacles is also asking us to be patient, to keep our head down, to focus on the task in front of us. However, the Eight of Pentacles is also about self-mastery and the fact that after you practice a certain skill over and over and over again, like, you're bound to get good at it. And so the Eight of Pentacles also speaks to a level of confidence that comes from having a specific kind of skill set and mastering a certain skill set. But essentially, this is about investing your time and energy into something that is long-lasting, something that is extremely significant and important to you. The Eight of Pentacles shows up when it's time to pat yourself on the back, when it's time to be proud of yourself, when it's time to be proud of your unique skill set, when it's time to be proud of your unique style, okay? Eights, again, have this like flavor of karma and destiny. And that's because 8 flipped on its side is the infinity symbol. So there is this like intertwining of spirit and life purpose here. But 8 is also 4 plus 4. 4 being an energy of stability and protection. The 8 of Pentacles is about building a legacy for ourselves. This is about acting out your karma, acting out your life purpose in a sense, like doing something that feels nourishing and fulfilling to you because this is what your soul came here to do. Now, when we see this card in the reverse position, this typically indicates procrastination, perfectionism, doubting your ability to do something, to create something. The 8 of Pentacles reverse can represent taking shortcuts. The 8 of Pentacles reverse can also represent a lack of resources, a lack of educational resources, a lack of financial resources. Maybe you just also don't have enough time to do the things that you want to do. But essentially, the 8 of Pentacles is a lack of commitment. And this can be indicative of just like not feeling good enough, like truly doubting your ability to bring something to fruition, doubting your skill set, doubting your power, doubting your uniqueness. And the antidote to feeling like you're in a 8 of Pentacles reverse situation, feeling scared to take action, feeling disempowered, the antidote to that is practice and not taking yourself too seriously, not psyching yourself out, because the 8 of Pentacles does represent doing something significant, doing something that's going to ask a lot of you. This is asking you to be very committed. This is asking you to be very responsible. This is asking you to kick your own ass and to get something going. and the odds are good that whatever you're working on, whatever you're creating, it's gonna be slow moving. We're still talking about pentacles, we're still talking about earth energy. So you have to be willing to not see results for a while. But to get out of the Eight of Pentacles reversed, you have to see everything you do as practice. Practice your skill set. In order to strengthen your voice, you gotta use your voice. In order to strengthen your muscles, you gotta work out a little bit every single day or most days, okay? There's a need to use your tools, because if we don't use what we got, we tend to lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it, you know? And when you're not in the gym, you lose the muscle. When you're not actively writing every day, you're not as good as a writer as the people who are taking the time to write every day. So yeah, essentially Eight of Pentacles reversed, procrastination, perfectionism, and the Eight of Pentacles in the upright, this is about hard work, commitment, seeing things through. And when we got the patience to see things through, the Eight of Pentacles turns into the Nine of Pentacles. When we stack our coins one on top of the other, we tend to create a life of comfortability, abundance, financial freedom. And so in the Nine of Pentacles, we see this woman who is luxuriously dressed and she's standing in a garden. Gardens represent a refuge, a very sacred area, a time and space where you can rest and reflect. There's grapes in her garden, and we are gonna see grapes again in the Ten of Pentacles, and I also think in the King of Pentacles, yes. And grapes are a crop that are kind of difficult to grow. There's a lot of like environmental factors that take place in the cultivation of grapes, and then grapes can be turned into wine. So it's a very like bougie fruit to have in your garden, and it's a sign of wealth. And so the Nine of Pentacles, ooh, and the bird that she has in her hand is a falcon, and the falcon has a hood over its head, and she's holding it wearing that big glove because its talons are very sharp. And so as soon as she removes the hood from the falcon's head, it's a hunting bird. So it's gonna go hunt for its own food before coming back home. This energy is very independent. It's very abundant. This is about being able to stand on your own 2 feet. This is prosperity. This is financial success. This is like long-term financial freedom. This is material comfort. This is a material form of security. This is good health. The Nine of Pentacles is also good luck. Like, this energy is when good luck and good management of one's investments, one's resources, like your time, your money, and energy, when you're good at managing that stuff, the technical stuff, plus a little bit of like good luck and good circumstances, that's when you fall into this Nine of Pentacles energy. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles is also just a sign to like really, really, really enjoy the fruits of your labor. Enjoy it. And so her hand is resting on a pile of 6 pentacles, and that is symbolic of her saving and like really leaning on those 6. And the 3 over here gives her the freedom to like be generous with those. Maybe she doesn't care as much about those, or there's a little bit of flexibility with how she spends those because she's really, really like leaning on those 6 behind her. So there's a little bit of give and take with if she wants to spend those, how she wants to use those, all right? And even though the Nine of Pentacles is about essentially like independence and not needing anyone, she still enjoys the company of others. She still like wants to entertain. She still really, really loves the relationships and the connection and the community that she has in her own life and her ability to like support those that she loves. But at the end of the day, it's an energy of like, I'm good, I'm solid, I'm happy on my own. So if you're not adding to my peace, if you're not actively adding value into my life, like, then don't even bother. You know what I mean? This is a very like picky, choosy energy. And I'm a big fan of this energy. She's a woman that protects her peace. All right. In the reverse position, the Nine of Pentacles can be like too self-critical, too judgmental of the self. This can represent a lack of self-worth. This can represent just not feeling worthy of good things, not feeling worthy of an abundance of money, not feeling worthy of the things that you want. The Nine of Pentacles reversed can equate to not feeling abundant, not feeling financially set, not feeling financially secure. This is a feeling of lack. This is a feeling of scarcity. But this is also just like a lack of time and feeling like you are incapable of enjoying what you do have. And whenever we see the Nine of Pentacles in reversed, this is more so about your internal world. This is more so about your mental state and your emotional state. And the way to get out of this is like to prioritize enjoying what you do have, feeling good about what is working in your life instead of fixating on what isn't working. Because at the end of the day, like, abundance is a mindset. You could have $1 million in the bank, you could have 1 million followers on Instagram, but if you still don't feel like you're happy with yourself, no amount of numbers, no amount of physical forms of success can ever change your internal opinion of yourself. All right, so this card in the reverse position is a lot about our opinion of ourselves, because in the upright, this is an energy of being so self-secure. So Nine of Pentacles upright is inner security. In the reverse position, this is insecurity. All right, friends, but from a feeling of inner security, from a feeling of protection and comfort and being able to enjoy one's life, we move into the Ten of Pentacles. Right off the bat, immediately, we can see lots and lots of coins in this card. There's also an archway, like a passageway of sorts, and we see some kind of like town, city backdrop. There's a family. There's an older man here, there's a couple here, and we got a kid and 2 dogs. So this card is depicting a family. This is depicting several different generations. Grandfather, parents, child. Tens in numerology, again, this is about ending a cycle. This is about completion. This is about an interconnectedness of what we've been through and who we are. The family dynamic. So one, yes, this is about money being passed down. This is about generational wealth. This is about family businesses and inheriting money from those that came before us. This is about legacy, building a legacy, building a business that's going to outlive you, something that you can pass down to others. But also from our family, we inherit like patterns, like good or bad, like through our bloodline energetically, as well as tangibly, visually, a little bit of both nature and nurture. Like, we experience some form of childhood trauma due to what we're exposed to and the parenting we receive and the environment we grow up in, and that makes an impact on who we are as people. And so the way we handle this physical reality, the way we handle money, the way we handle our physical health, the way we handle and use our energy and use our time, though that's patterning, that's programming that we've picked up on through our most formative years in our childhood. When we reach a 10 of Pentacles moment, it's because we've had some kind of breakthrough, financial or otherwise. We've broken some kind of pattern, or we have continued a tradition. I feel like this could go either way. The 10 of Pentacles can represent upholding a family tradition, upholding family values. Something has been passed down that you get to carry. So like you could inherit money through a will or something, right? Or you could inherit a family business. But on the flip side, this also can very well represent breaking a pattern. Maybe for you, the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse position can very well represent breaking a pattern. That's not the traditional meaning, but that's what's coming to me right now, and that's totally, totally valid. The 10 of Pentacles is not just about family, this is about community. This is about networking and relationships, but also like it speaks to the richness of community, the value that other people add in our life. All right. 10 of Pentacles is about generosity. This is also about like a healthy life. This is about health. This is about longevity. Yeah, the 10 of Pentacles is also very, very committed. It's also a sign to listen to your elders. Listen to the people that have come before you. Listen to the wisest people in your life. And also it's a sign to pay attention to detail. That there might be a lot happening right now, and in regards to your decision making, in regards to your commitments, it's going to benefit you to take things very slowly and pay attention to something that you might be tempted to overlook. All right, in the reverse position, the 10 of Pentacles is usually a sign that your hard work is not paying off. This is a time in which you should question your investments because there's a reason why something isn't paying off. The 10 of Pentacles reverse can also represent family problems or some kind of issue in the family dynamic. 10 of Pentacles reversed is a lack of commitment, a lack of follow through. So 10s represent completing a cycle. The 10 of Pentacles reversed, just like any other 10 reversed, indicates the fact that like you're so close to like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You're so close to breaking through. You're so close to some form of success, financial success, some form of freedom. You're so close to establishing something for yourself. Like you gotta have the courage, you gotta have the bravery to figure out what isn't working because you're so close to the end. And the 10 of Pentacles reversed can signify being like a workaholic and being too obsessed, too focused on the thing that you're creating, and there needs to be more balance in your life. The 10 of Pentacles in the reverse position is a lack of work-life balance. Okay, so baby, from the beauty, really, the beauty and the bounty that is available to us in the 10 of Pentacles, we wrap up that portion of the cards and we move into the court cards. We got the page, we got the knight, the queen, and the king. So let's start with the page. Every single page in the tarot deck, just like the page of Pentacles, they have pure intentions. There's something very innocent, there's something very sweet, and very like humble and naive, more or less, about the page of Pentacles. Now, what's different from this page from maybe every other page is the fact that he's very patient. Pentacles are slow moving. This is an offer. This is a commitment. This is the beginning of a project. This is the beginning of taking something to the next level. And even though this Page of Pentacles is slightly naive, doesn't really know what he's doing, he's very, very committed to the process, and he's an extremely patient energy. The Page of Pentacles is excited to commit to something for the long run, for the long term. This energy is very loyal, it's very dependable, it's very practical. And the Page of Pentacles is focused on external results. Like, as much as he is patient and he's willing to put in the work for like not a lot of immediate instant gratification, he is a character that is focused on the physical. He's here to make money. He's here to do what needs to be done so that he can go home. He's not here to make friends. He's not here to make small talk. He is very focused on the reason why he does what he does. Because of that, the Page of Pentacles can also be someone who's a little cheap, a little frugal, someone who doesn't want to spend his money or waste his time on things that he doesn't think are important. The Page of Pentacles is a very research-focused, information-hungry, a very like factual, rational person, a very educated person. I don't know if I said this earlier, but pages in general, they tend to embody the energy of an intern. So like, he is a student of sorts. Like, he is very focused on researching and learning as much as he can about the thing that he's working on, about this commitment. But at the end of the day, like, this is his first time like in a specific workplace. He's an intern in his field. Like, he's getting his toes wet, and he's like learning through trial and error. The Page of Pentacles is also very thoughtful and very considerate. In the reverse position, the Page of Pentacles can represent someone who is impatient, someone who doesn't want to commit to something if there's no instant gratification involved. The Page of Pentacles can also be someone who is very hesitant to fully commit to something, fully hand over their coin. So because of that, like, I think even in the upright, the Page of Pentacles can be a really like frugal, cheap energy, but in the reverse position, this can also be someone who's not willing to invest in something. When the Page of Pentacles is in the reverse position, it signifies a hesitancy to fully commit to one thing. So your attention, your time, your money might be too spread out. And so there's a need for you to redirect your energy. But yeah, when the Page of Pentacles is in the reverse position, this is also a sign that you don't have to be too practical. You don't have to be like too researched. The decision that you need to make right now is asking you to take a risk. It's asking you to take a leap of faith. It's asking you to trust yourself and trust your intuition. Like, you can be as logical as you want about this thing, but overthinking isn't going to help you right now. You need to take some kind of action. And so even though the Pentacles are slow moving, like, this is about acting. This is about committing. This is about being at the very beginning of a life experience that's going to add value to like you as a person. And maybe add value to your bank account too. All right, so from the Page, we mature into the Knight. The Knight of Pentacles is someone with a little bit more lived experience than the Page. This is someone who's willing to get his hands dirty. In this card, we see a knight wearing armor with this like leafy green adornment on top of his helmet. He's holding a pentacle in his hand. He's sitting on top of a dark black horse. That horse isn't moving anywhere, which is a very stark contrast to the knights that we saw previously, at least the Knight of Swords. I believe the Knight of Cups was also stationary, but we'll see the Knight of Wands is a similar vibe to the Knight of Swords. Yeah, but regardless, the Knight of Pentacles is not, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. The Knights do speak to forward movement. This energy is about being on a mission, being on a quest, serving the side of the war that you're fighting for. The Knights serve the king in battle, right? You're fighting for your country. But this energy is taking its time. When we see the Knight of Pentacles, this is about taking a baby step. This is about understanding that, like, it's so important for you to get the ball rolling now. The Knight of Pentacles is about consistency. This is about being very intentional. This is about working diligently. And it's also significant of this idea that earth, dirt, it doesn't typically move on its own, right? Like earth, a rock, it's not gonna move on its own. It takes an earthquake to shake things up, literally. And so when you see the Knight of Pentacles, this might signify the fact that, like, you need, or you are in the process of creating a personal earthquake. Like, there's a need for you to radically step outside of your comfort zone and get the ball moving. Even if stepping outside of your comfort zone and getting the ball moving looks like a teeny tiny little baby step. Like I said, the Knight of Pentacles is about concerted, diligent effort. Your consistency is so much more important than your speed when working with any of the Pentacles, but especially the Knight of Pentacles. This is about, like, creating your own momentum every single day. The Knight of Pentacles is very calm, very, very, very wise, very discerning. He's also very in tune with his physical needs. Out of all of the Pentacle cards, the Knight of Pentacles is, what I would argue, the one that's most about our physical health. This is, like, truly indicative and representative of taking care of your physical body. When there's a physical health issue in yourself or in someone that you're reading for, that tends to show up as the Knight of Pentacles reversed. All right, now this energy will also finish what he started. He will finish his mission. He will see things through. This energy is loyal, it is committed. It might take him a while, but no matter how long it takes him, he finishes everything that he starts. He doesn't half-ass anything. All right, he's a man of his word. So when the Knight of Pentacles is reversed, this can signify procrastination, perfectionism. This is indicative of holding yourself back. Like I was saying earlier, Earth doesn't move. Like, it takes an earthquake. And so the Knight of Pentacles shows up when it's time to step out of our comfort zone, when it's time to take a baby step. In the reverse position, it's like, bro, you have to create your own momentum right now. So this energy is similar to what we saw in the Eight of Pentacles reversed. This was about procrastinating out of not feeling good enough, procrastinating out of, like, doubting your ability to execute something. Now the Knight of Pentacles takes this up to the next level, and it's like, listen, not only is there no reason for you to doubt yourself, but you also literally cannot afford to stay where you are. The Knight of Pentacles reversed can come across as someone who's, like, sloppy, messy. It's the energy of someone who, like, doesn't care about how they're investing into the situation in front of them. All right? And so whenever you see this energy in the reverse position, it typically signifies the fact that, like, it's important to take something seriously right now. whether that be your physical health, whether that be your financial situation, whether that be how you're spending your time, what you're working towards. So essentially, the Knight of Pentacles is asking you to be patient and very detail-oriented. Like I said, consistent, concerted effort, consistent baby steps. This Knight of Pentacles has the tendency to be a perfectionist, and perfectionism is just a form of self-flagellation and self-punishment and self-criticism and self-judgment. But there is like a feeling of self-forgiveness here, like self-respect maybe. So yeah, my friends, that's the energy of the Knight of Pentacles, someone who is very committed to seeing things through and very committed to taking things seriously, whether that be his health, financial situation, or otherwise. We're gonna move on from this very dedicated energy into the next card, which is the Queen of Pentacles. And so in this card, we see a beautiful lady wearing red, cloaked in green. She is sitting on a throne, which is decked out with like a little angel face, some fruit, and a little like goat head too. There's some kind of like creature animal on her throne. She's also sitting in a garden with some mountains in the background, and she's got like a little arbor overhang, similar to what we saw in the Magician card. And so in this card, the arbor represented being protected, being watched over by spirit. And so that same vibe, that same energy is back again. Also, we have a coin on her lap that she's fixated on. She's very, very intent and focused on that coin, focused on her business, focused on her money, focused on how she's spending her resources. And last but not least, there's a teeny tiny little bunny rabbit in the corner. That rabbit speaks to fertility and reproduction, but it's also about like moving fast. The rabbit has a very fast pace. The Queen of Pentacles has very good money management skills. She's got great business marketing skills. She's got a lot of ideas. She's got a lot of time too. She's very good at like, what's that called? Delegating. However, the Queen of Pentacles can be a very self-sacrificing energy. She's very hardworking. She's willing to get her hands dirty. She's willing to do the work that no one else wants to do. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen, or do you remember the TV show Undercover Boss? The Queen of Pentacles is the energy of a CEO that cares so much about their company that they're willing to go undercover and like experience what it's actually like to work for that company. However, the Queen of Pentacles is also an extremely maternal energy. This is a mother figure. We can assume that she's pregnant or assume that she's very fertile. In any event, just like the Empress, like she's sitting in nature. She either is Mother Nature and embodies that kind of feminine essence, or she is very, very, very tied to the earth and Mama Gaia. And she also like treats every single person she meets with absolute love and respect, and she like loves from a place of generosity. She loves from a place of abundance, and she treats everyone that she meets with so much love and with so much respect, because she understands that we are all children of earth. We are all children of God. And so she treats every kid that she meets as if it was her own child. This can be the energy of someone who's extremely humble or extremely shy. In any event, this is very powerful, autonomous energy. It's like a higher vibration of the Nine of Pentacles, but so so similar in the amount of like femininity and like fulfilled femininity, independent femininity. Actually, the Nine of Pentacles might be a little bit more independent than the Queen. The Queen still craves connection and understands the value of community and serving that community. The Queen of Pentacles is also like deeply creative. And so going back to the idea that she's probably pregnant sitting in this forest, and she's very, very focused on her money. Like she's very focused on the thing that she is creating. She is not only a creative energy, but she's good at creating an environment that allows other people to succeed. So again, very, very supportive, very nurturing, very maternal. Now, in the reverse position, the Queen of Pentacles can represent like being very fearful of your money situation, being fearful about losing money, being fearful about not having enough money, but more so being fearful about your ability to create and protect what you're currently working on. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing and maternal and supportive of others because she can afford to be nurturing and supportive, and she can afford to pour her time and her energy and her money into other people because she feels safe and secure within herself and what she has access to. So she's receptive. She receives what she needs so that she can give to others. In the reverse position, this is feeling fearful around money. This is feeling like you don't have enough. You're not in a position where you can support other people. You're barely in a position where you can support yourself. This can represent being too passive. And so and that leans into this like damsel in distress kind of femininity or archetype that exists within the range of feminine energy. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position can also represent like the fact that something wants to be birthed through you. There's a business idea, there's a project, there's a leap of faith, there's something that needs to be nurtured by you. And right now there's a lot of resistance, or you're not fully letting yourself believe in yourself when it comes to a money-making idea. When the Queen of Pentacles shows up in a reading, like this can be used to signify pregnancy. Absolutely 100%. So in the reverse position, this can actually signify like problems with a pregnancy or problems with your own like maybe moon cycle, your hormone cycle, or your reproductive organs, female or otherwise. This essentially in the reverse position is an indication that something needs more love, whether that's you or an idea or your body. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position can be someone who doesn't feel very supported, but also someone who doesn't feel very safe. Again, this can be a sign of insecurity. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position, just like any queen and the Empress in the reverse position, this can signify giving too much to other people and not receiving the help that you deserve. This energy can be too self-sacrificing, and there's a need to check in with yourself and the way you're operating, okay? Because in any event, the Queen of Pentacles is someone who loves to see other people winning, loves to create and curate a happy, healthy environment for other people to thrive in. And really the only downside of the Queen of Pentacles, even in the upright position, is the fact that this energy is very reluctant to change. She does like to do things a certain way, and she's going to be very stubborn about that. So when the Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse position, this can signify a need for you to get a little bit more stubborn and more protective over your vision and protective over whatever you're working on. Whether that be like building up your finances or taking care of your own physical health, there's a need for you to get more stubborn and ignore other people's opinions and start putting your opinions and your perspective on a pedestal and get yourself to a point where you feel better and better about who you are and what you're doing, to the point where the Queen of Pentacles energy flips over, and then and only then will you have created something that allows you the freedom and flexibility to be generous with others. And then in the Queen of Pentacles upright, this is where we take other people's opinions into account, but at the end of the day, she's gonna do what she wants to do when she wants to do it. All right? And it's from this energy that we close out the Pentacles with the King. So in this card, we also see a ruler of sorts. We see a king sitting in a garden, and he's in the city. Like, he's probably perched on like a balcony of a castle or something like that. He, however, is covered in leaves, in vines, in grapes. We can see that he is wearing armor. So similar to the emperor, like he is a king that has served in battle and isn't afraid to go back to battle if necessary. He also has some bulls decorating his throne. He's got a scepter in one hand, he's got flowers on his crown, and he too is staring down at his coin. And slightly differently from the Queen. The Queen had both hands on her coin, and there's a really, really direct feeling of focus here, where his gaze is a little bit more or a little bit less intense. The King of Pentacles represents both wealth and wisdom. He understands that true abundance is knowledge. Like, knowledge is a resource that no one can take away from him. Knowledge is a resource that just continuously builds upon itself. The bulls on his throne are a nod to the earth sign Taurus, and Taurus represents fixed earth. So this is the energy that rules over the material world. Taurus is associated with comfort and luxury and liking the finer things in life. But at the end of the day, it's about feeling safe and feeling relaxed and feeling at home in the world and in your own personal environment. And so the King of Pentacles is someone who like has worked for what he has. Like, this is the energy of someone who has multiple streams of passive income. The King of Pentacles is kind of feminine. Like, there's something kind of passive about his energy, something very receptive about his energy. Now, he's also very direct and very honest and very strong-willed, very strongly opinionated, similar to the Queen of Pentacles. He's very stubborn as well, very committed to his way of doing things, because his way of doing things has proved to be successful. This is the energy of understanding that time equals money. The King of Pentacles is very intentional about the way he spends his time, and everything that this man does is for profit. Like, he's not gonna go into a situation without thinking about like how it's gonna benefit him. And so like, you could see that as shady. You could see that as transactional and someone who like likes to use people. And maybe in the reverse position, the King of Pentacles is a person with not a whole lot of integrity. But at the end of the day, he is a good businessman. He's good at what he does. He makes smart investments. So someone like the King of Pentacles has a lot of power and a lot of authority, but people come to him because of what he has, not necessarily who he is. You know, people come to him when they want him to invest in something, when they want business advice. Like I said, similar to the Queen of Pentacles, this energy is very stubborn, very committed to doing things the way they've always been done. This energy is very resistant to change, but it's only because the King of Pentacles has had so much experience, and so he knows how the market works. He knows what it takes to make a smart investment. He also isn't afraid of taking a risk. He's not afraid of taking a financial risk. He has the balls, he has the bravery to do something that might not work out, but he knows that in the long run, that experience, even if it doesn't work out, he's going to gain knowledge. He's going to gain wisdom. He's going to gain some kind of life lesson that's just going to make him smarter. The King of Pentacles is someone that's very reliable, very loyal, and very trusting. However, at the same exact time, he's going to treat your word like a contract. So if you don't do what you say you're going to do, if you break that contract, then you've totally lost his trust. And it's very, very difficult to regain that trust. Because like I said, the King of Pentacles acts from a place of time is money. You just wasted my time. You just wasted my ability to make money. Whatever. He is not afraid of cutting people off. He's not afraid of cutting dead weight. He is not afraid of using the block button and not returning calls. He doesn't answer every email, okay? The King of Pentacles is very selective with his time because he knows his worth. He knows what he brings to the table. If you're not meeting him halfway, goodbye. The King of Pentacles is also very good at seeing opportunities where other people don't. This energy is about seeing abundance, seeing potential where other people usually don't. The King of Pentacles is good at not taking things for granted, and it's an energy of gratitude and abundance and really appreciating what you have while knowing that it's okay to desire more for yourself, and putting in the work to do just that. So when the King of Pentacles is in the reverse position, this typically signifies some form of workaholicism. This signifies being overworked, overstressed, essentially letting your business take you over, letting your money situation, your financial situation, totally take over the way you operate, being too obsessed with money, being too obsessed with the material world. So this could represent being materialistic, being greedy, also being stingy, being overindulgent. The King of Pentacles in the reverse position can also signify being too fixated and too focused on your social status. And the King of Pentacles in the reverse position can signify some form of superficiality. This energy can also mean there's a need for you to get more organized and to get your affairs in order, whatever that means to you at that specific time. The King of Pentacles reverse can also represent missing opportunities. So in the upright, he sees things that other people don't. He sees opportunity, he sees abundance in places that are kind of obscure and overlooked. In the reverse position, we're overlooking something. There's a creative solution that we're not fully understanding, or we have an opportunity to create something from nothing. We have an opportunity to take some kind of risk. We have an opportunity to do something that is going to require a whole lot of creativity and a whole lot of courage on our part. So yeah, overall, the King of Pentacles in the reverse position, this is money problems. This is not being good at managing your time, not being good at managing your finances, and sometimes this is a leader that's not very good at managing people. Typically, any of the kings in the reverse position, the Emperor in the reverse position, is some kind of authority figure that's not actually very good at talking to people, and there's some kind of lack of communication skills and lack of people skills. But in summary, the King of Pentacles is an energy that is very healthy, wealthy, and smart, wise, intelligent. He's good at making decisions and seeing opportunities, and also he's good at appreciating what he has. So my friends, that was a brief but thorough introduction to the Pentacles. The Pentacles taught us all about time management and collaborating with others and the consequences of being too stingy and too fearful over what you do or do not have. The Pentacles also spoke to working hard for the things you want, and ultimately the beauty of sharing your experiences and sharing your time and your resources with others. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you again for being here with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.